People don't need to be concerned about how I'm getting through this stretch. I miss those events more than I can express, but I'm more greatly concerned about how we can get back as a human race to a civilized lifestyle as we knew it before. And that's my greatest concern. Do I miss the Masters? You bet I do. I think about it every single day. I'm talking 365 with no embellishment. My goodness, Sam, if I don't bring it up, somebody else does every day. It's just, it follows me. I'm honored that people want to talk about the Masters when they're in my company. But I'm looking forward to when we get back there in November. I'm delighted to have hope on the horizon that things will one day turn. And, for example, it will be in Augusta, different time of the year, but that we'll be back to do it before the year is out. Well, I showed up in 1986. I was 26 years old, not quite 4 years removed from college graduation. It was a weighty assignment. A little bit of me was shocked that Frank Chirkinian, the legendary father of golf television and the leader of CBS Golf at that time, that he would entrust a 26-year-old to be on this broadcast crew. Obviously, I was honored beyond words. And I was assigned to the 16th hole, and lo and behold, Jack Nicklaus wins the Masters that year for that epic sixth green jacket winning performance. And to be a part of the tapestry of that broadcast, to have been there, to be able to have that as a launch point on my career, I mean, I'm just still honored to this day. The one that hit home the most for me, Sam, though, was 1992, April 12th, 1992. Fred Couples and I attended the University of Houston at the same time. We were members of Dave Williams' golf team. Now, I'm being a little liberal with the use of proclaiming myself as a member of the golf team. I was, but I was clearly the last guy on the team. But the coach, for whatever reason, knew that I was a kid that was kind of a goal-minded individual. I would get up every day and go to class, and I'd do my homework and be orderly and organized and all of that. So he put me in the dorm suite at Houston with Fred Couples, Blaine McAllister, who won 5 tour events, and John Horn, who played a couple of years on the tour. They were our 3 most decorated freshman recruits. Freddie always had it in his head that the ultimate tournament was the Masters. Well, guess what? So did I. Long before I showed up on the Houston campus, as a young boy, I dreamt of being an announcer for CBS. We both wanted to get to Augusta for a career goal. So all of that came together in 92. And he wins. I'm there to present him the green jacket. The whole dorm life has come back together full circle. The dream has been realized. How do you beat that? Yeah. How do you beat 2 kids, Sam, who actually, when they were in school, openly talked about one day I'm going to be there to host it. I'm going to be there to win it. And we're going to have that scene together. There's only one way that ever gets topped, Sam. And that's if my little guy, who I mentioned before, is taking the golf. If my little Jameson one day becomes no pressure here, but if he was one day to become a champion golfer and made his way to Augusta and walked into that cabin as the Masters champion, that would be a hello, son, and goodbye, friends moment for me. Absolutely no pressure. I'm not going to be one of those stage fathers. But I just love the fact that he has already a little passion for it and a beautiful little golf swing, I might add. Wow. We're having fun. It's a dream for me. And I felt badly for Phil all those years that he had not won a major, and it followed him everywhere he would go, Sam. He would go into the press room at Hartford, let's say. He'd get asked the question, how come you haven't won a major? But when he made that putt, it was thrilling. I visited with him all this past Monday, as we're going to rebroadcast the 04 Masters. He joins me for the commentary of a bunch of key points in that final round. I mean, he's in the show for about half the show doing play-by-play commentary with me, and it was just so much fun to relive it again. You forget how great that Masters tournament was. I absolutely loved it. And Phil, and we'll get to Tiger in a minute, they both were so generous with their time this week. Tiger's the same way. I mean, to be on such sensory overload at the time, certain shots they played and the things that they were aware of in the moment that they now share with us, that I read everything. I had never heard any allusions to some of the things that they both said about swings, moments, pressure-packed moments in these final rounds. Tiger's doing commentary. I'm at my home in Pebble Beach. he's at his home down in Florida, and no one's lapping over the other. We're calling golf. I think America is going to be recaptivated, Sam. This is the kind of story right now that we need to hear. It is arguably the greatest comeback story in any sport, and this is not hyperbole. So we're at a time in our universe where we, as a nation and citizens of the world, we need to latch on to certain things that bring positivity, and that springtime word that this season is centered around: hope. And I think that that's something that you'll walk away when you watch it again, and you're going to say, wow, I hate to draw parallels between a crisis around the world and a sporting event, but I think right now any message of hope is good. So I'm not trying to put one anywhere in the same sphere or universe, but I do think that a message of hope, a turnaround tale of that magnitude from our little candy store into the world, that world that you and I are so fortunate to live in, that this is a good one at a good time to be reminded of overcoming odds and being able to get things back in its rightful spot.